Alright, and welcome back to FOOD. And today we are talking about caramelization. Alright, so today we are going to make two types of caramels. Hard caramel and caramelized onions.
Hi, I'm Kipling, and I'm a kid who loves good food. But I wonder, what does it take to make food really delicious? Come with me as I research the science behind fantabulous food and how to cook it. This is FOOD, culinary science for kids of all ages.
The science of caramelization is when sugar gets hot, the sugar molecules go crazy, they go around, they hit each other, they break. This is called thermal decomposition. It's like if you got a sheet of music, you took all the notes off, then you mixed up the notes, put them back on, it would be a complete different song. So after they get thermal decomposed, they will be recomposed into different molecules. In fact, anything with sugar can caramelize, like onions can caramelize, fruit can caramelize, kind of. Different kinds of caramel depends on cooking. Like soft caramel, you don't cook it for as long. Hard caramel, you cook it longer. Alright, for the ingredients for the caramels, not the caramelized onions. 2 cups of sugar, half a teaspoon of cream of tartar, 1 cup of water, 1/3 cup of heavy whipping cream, that's at room temperature, 3 tablespoons of butter that's at room temperature, a teaspoon of vanilla extract, half a teaspoon of fine sea salt. Other things you will need: a whisk, spatula, candy thermometer, pastry brush, and an 8x8 pan. Let's get cooking! Alright, first we're going to line our 8x8 pan with parchment paper. And now we're going to add our sugar, our water, and our cream of tartar into our pot. We're going to stir it, and then we're going to bring it over to the stove on low heat until the mixture turns white. Okay, so we're going to start by whisking it on low heat until all the sugar is dissolved and the mixture turns white, which will take about 5 to 8 minutes. Kind of spilling it everywhere sometimes. But I love caramels and I don't want to lose any of my caramel. And also, this might not be for a little bit, but if you see little sugar crystals forming on the side of the pan, just wipe those off with a damp pastry brush. But try and get some of the water out of the pastry brush, because the more water you put in there, the longer it has to cook. Alright, so it's been going for about 5 to 6 minutes, or 6 to 7 minutes, and now my dad helped me clip this on because I don't want to get burned, and now we're going to raise it up to medium-high heat, and we're going to keep stirring it, and then we're going to keep whisking until bubbles begin forming. Alright, so it's almost to a boil. Now we're going to stop whisking and wait and watch our thermometer until it gets to 350, which will be right there. Alright, so we're just going to keep watching this until it gets to 350, And it should start to get a little bit darker, and we're just gonna keep wiping off crystals if there are some forming. Only at 210. Maybe not even 210. Okay, so it's at 350. We're now gonna turn off the heat, and now it's gonna become darker. You don't wanna burn it though. And then we're gonna remove it from the heat, stir in the cream and the butter, which we're gonna do now. So we're gonna
stir it.
And we're gonna pour this in. Oh, yeah, it's gonna start foaming, but don't worry if it foams. That's what's supposed to happen. Oh god.
Butter, hurry.
Not as much as I expected it to foam, but...
Use your finger.
Okay. We'll continue stirring that. When it settles, stir with a spatula until smooth. So it hasn't settled yet, but it's going to. Oh, butter. Burn. Melt butter. Alright, now that it's mostly settled, we're going to stir with the spatula until it's smooth. And make sure that the butter melts. Alright, we have it all smooth. We turned the heat back on, and now we're going to continue stirring it until it reaches 248 degrees. After it reaches 248, we're going to add our salt and vanilla extract. And then we're going to stir all of that in, and then we're just going to pour it into our pan with parchment, and then we're going to leave it for at least 2 hours to cool.
And is it going to boil?
It should.
Before it reaches 248, right?
It should. But we don't want it to burn. Oh, it's starting to come to a simmer. Well, not really, but it's bubbling.
Okay, how are we doing, buddy?
Okay, it's at 248. Now we're gonna take it off that heat.
Oh, and it's bubbling, huh?
Yeah, it should be at a boil.
Okay.
Now we're gonna take it over to the counter to add our other stuff in. Don't drop it, 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 don't drop it. Yeah, accomplished the mission. Now we have to stir in this stuff.
What stuff?
Our vanilla extract, which is 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract.
Hurry, stir it.
What's happening?
And salt. Stir it.
Smells like vanilla now. Okay. Now we're just gonna let this cool down a little, and then we're gonna pour it into our pan. We're gonna let it set for at least 2 hours. Alright, so now we got it off the stove, and now we're gonna just bang it against the counter to get all the bubbles out. Okay, now we'll let it cool for at least 2 hours. And thanks for learning how to make caramels with us on FOOD. Oh yeah, now we're gonna go make our onions, our caramelized onions.
Are you almost done with the onions?
Yeah. Okay, so while our caramels are cooling off, I'm going to help my dad make some caramelized onions for our dinner tonight. So I finished chopping up these onions, and since most vegetables have sugar, if we can get these sugars in the onion to caramelize, we can have caramelized onions. Caramelized onions taste different. They make the flavor taste a little bit different. And they can be used on a lot of things, like in soup, on a hamburger, on a sandwich, a lot of things. All right, so this is a lot of onions that my dad wants to caramelize. We got 4 tablespoons of butter in here, and we're gonna turn on the heat on low to medium. Okay, our butter is melted, and now my dad is gonna help me put our onions in here.
Okay, so here, buddy, you take the salt, and as I add some layers of onion, just sprinkle it in there.
Okay.
Okay, stop for a second. Making a mess here.
Yeah. There's so much onions.
Well, you'll be surprised what's gonna happen with all of these onions.
Well, they're mostly water, so won't all the water boil out?
Just about. And see how nice and white these are? What do you think's gonna happen to them as they caramelize?
Brown?
Yep. All right, let me see this. This is a pinch.
Oh. They're already starting to get a little bit darker.
That's mostly the butter.
Oh.
But just like with the sugar, as it started to get to temperature, what did we have to watch out for?
Heat and burning?
What?
Heat and burning?
Yeah, we didn't want it to burn, right?
Right.
So we're gonna have to watch these over time. It's a slow process, just like our caramels. All right. It seems crazy, but when that's all done, it's gonna just be a tiny bit at the bottom of the pot. I'm gonna turn that down just a little bit below medium, and then what I'm gonna do is, to start the process, is put a lid on there to get the heat all through the pot. We'll come back and check it in a few minutes, okay?
Okay. All right, now we're gonna check it. My dad's been stirring it occasionally. Oh, look how little there is of that.
How's it look, bud?
Way smaller.
Let's see here. Oh yeah, that's much less, huh? Let's give it a stir and see. Camera won't see it quite yet, but some of them are starting to get brown.
Yeah.
Here, you stir it a little bit, and I'll get a picture of it, okay?
Okay.
But that's why we stir it every so often, because some of the onions will cook faster than others.
Right. Okay, so now we're gonna check on it. Oh, look how little there is in there. There's like nothing in there. What happened to all our onions? Oh yeah, onions are mostly water. And you can see that they're caramelizing, because look at that caramel on the bottom and on the sides.
Yeah, see all of that?
Yeah.
Let's show the It looks kind of brown, but you want it to be brown but not burned. So it takes a little practice. But as you cook, you scrape that stuff up.
That's loud.
Okay, move out of the way so they can see. So we get stirring, we keep that stirring. We check it every so often, make sure it's not burning. But see, that right there is almost the exact same color as your caramel in the pan, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you just keep going until the onions are as dark as you want.
Yeah.
All right, thanks for your help, buddy. I'm gonna keep working on this for our dinner.
Okay.
So we'll come back in a little bit and check on your caramels, right?
Right.
All right, thanks, buddy.
All right, so our caramelized onions are finished. This to this. This might be actually one onion. I don't know, might be. But yeah, look how close of a color that is. They're like, well, really close in color. Now, we're gonna try taking this out. And then we're gonna try cutting them into pieces.
You can just leave it on the paper because it's gonna be kind of a mess.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna show you the first one. So however big you want them, how big,
Like right there.
then you just have to push nice and slow.
Until it cuts all the way through.
Look at that.
Holding together really well. I feel like you could build a house out of that stuff.
Okay, so there's your caramel. You gonna try any? Here,
Well, let's make some portionate amounts.
portion it.
Yeah. Okay. Let's try this. Caramel. Delicious.
Should we cut a piece for your brothers that are waiting off camera?
Yeah. Bennett, Quinn, do you want some caramel?
Yeah. Okay.
Well, come up here.
Okay.
Thank you. It's pretty chewy. That's pretty good.
Thank you.
Yum.
Like that.
Look at that. They're really close in color.
Oh, they are.
And the onions are so full of water. This is almost actually equal to one onion.
Ooh.
Like, we started with 3 pounds of onions. Oh, 4 pounds of onions. And then we barely got any left. Like, only enough to fill up, like, up to here on this pan.
Wow. Do you use onions to make the caramel?
No! We made caramelized onions for today's dinner.
Ah.
Let's continue.
Just because they have so much water in
Yeah, they're
them?
pretty much water. Thanks for learning how to make caramel and caramelized onions with us. Click right here if you want to see another video. And click right here if you want to see a video that YouTube recommends for you. And I'll see you over there. Bye!